Thank you very much. I just want to say a few words before I pass the floor over to Surya about our beginnings. The first issue of TPQ was in spring 2002, and it featured Ismail Cem and George Papandreou, and it was about new horizons and the new millennium. And back then we were empowered by the outreach of the Arab movement, the guiding vision of Kemal Köprülü, and the sense of irreversibility of the liberal values and European integration that was sweeping over this geography. So a lot has changed in the last 15 years, both domestically, regionally, and internationally. I'd just like to highlight three things in particular that I see as having influenced our content and those changes. One is regionally. Like, Turkey was poised back then to be a bridge between Eurasia and the West, and sort of a counterbalance to Russia in the Black Sea region. And we see over time that Turkey is much more seen in the prism of the Middle East, both geostrategically and in terms of identity. And of course, this has impacted the evolution of our content over the years. Secondly, more generally, those who encouraged us most to espouse the values that we did, some of them have actually abandoned those values themselves. That's also created certain challenges. And thirdly, domestically, the space for debate has changed. And changed is a kind word, but in saying this, I mean that those that were controversial became mainstream, those that were mainstream became taboo, and it's in general, the critical thinking, finding people who think critically has become more and more difficult. Being editor-in-chief and gauging who should write on what topic is a perpetual balancing act. It's like walking a tightrope. It's thrilling, but it's also very stressful. And so I passed the torch over to Surya 2 years ago, but I didn't get off that easily because I started heading the crisis group work in Turkey, so I didn't really escape from crises. And she has gracefully, competently, and tactfully taken over the task. As Surya will elaborate, TPQ has not only adapted to the changing context, but I think has become much more indispensable because of its independence and because of its balance. And we've made sure not to get caught up in the domestic polarization, but we haven't shied away from taking up the most sensitive policy questions. When we started, we represented a group of young civil society enthusiasts. Many of the youngest, like myself, are now in our 40s, and many of my friends are here today. I'm very proud to have them here. And I think we feel like veterans. I'm looking at his screen there. Many who worked at TPQ have risen in the professional world, in civil society, in academia, and the business world, but many are still volunteers, and they're also here with us today. We feel their solidarity. I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments of the institution. A new generation has largely taken over, and I think our resilience is really due to our stakeholders, many of whom are here tonight. I'd like to hand over the floor now to Surya, who's going to elaborate more on where the journal stands today and its aspirations for the future.